There it is. There it is. Live. Good morning. Ain't nobody on, but I'm saying good morning because it's still a good morning in spite of it all. So this is a wonderful Sunday morning. Hopefully I'm heard. So every time we get on, the comments, this at your leisure. This is a wonderful day.
Everybody's already at church.
Oh yeah, I think you're probably right.
Everybody's online church.
Yeah, we online church. Oh yeah, that's right. I forget about that. Yeah, that's good. Well, church is what we need in times like these. Church is what we need. Church is it. Well, I got a quick story. I went into the God. But church is the vehicle, where the body, the governing body in the earth, the church. Because you know what? Truth be told, God ain't going to come down here and do nothing with his own finger. He's going to use one of us, the church. So we need the church because we're the governing body of the kingdom, the kingdom's vehicle in the earth that superimposes kingdom attributes. We superimpose the peace of God. We superimpose the love of God. We superimpose those things that are representative of peace, love, joy, godliness, you know. So church is what we need because we are the church. We need God. You're right about that. But we need the church because the church is the governing body that helps to implement and execute the perfect will of God and divine order in the earth. How do we do it? Through our praying, through, with supplication. How do we do it? The way we treat each other, and even in our ministries as it relates to the church platform, But anyway, I just want to jump right here and say good morning. Good morning. We made it another week. In this world that's in a frenzy and full of tumultuous chaos, we're still here. Good morning, everybody. We're still here, and we're still here by the grace of God. I'm your boy, Theophilus J. McIntyre, DBA, MBA, coming to you from the Nashville area. We're lit, we're live, we're loaded with divine knowledge, insight, practical wisdom to change your life. Oh yes, oh yeah. This is my lovely wife. The lovely wife, Danielle Renee. Why you say it like that?
I don't feel like it.
Why you say it like that? You say good morning like days ago. Well, good morning. Anyway, I wanted to just jump on because, we try to come on every week on our way to church. We're running late this morning. Hopefully you all can hear me. I'm kind of loud because sometimes I'll go back and look at these videos and it'll be so faint, but we're streaming through the car here. And so hopefully you all can hear me, and good morning to everybody. Hey cousin, I see you, Lindsey Jackson, my cousin on the line. How you doing? Good morning, good morning. So I asked the lovely wife to get a scripture together, to get one of these powerful scriptures, this word of God pulled together so that we can just have it provide some kind of encouragement. So we said, what are we going to talk about? My wife doesn't even know because I didn't mention it, but this came to me. New. These are the two words that came to me. Nothing new. We're all running around here. The world's going crazy. Everyone is in a frenzy. And believe it or not, the truth be told, social media and the news, they're hyperbolizing and inflating things such as the coronavirus. And I think that's just the job of social media, period. And although we want to be precautious, we still don't want to believe all of the hype, especially if it's got you in a frenzy. Why? Because God hasn't given you the spirit of fear. So I've looked on social media and I hear people talking about, I'm really afraid, they're scared, and yeah, we're going to be tempted to have fear. But in the year that King Uzziah died, even death, what seems like absolute pure hell and destruction, and I'm talking about hell as in the underworld world of hell, not like cussing, but y'all know what I'm saying. God is still on the throne. His train filled the temple. His glory is in the place. God is still here, and we're still here by the grace of God. And I'm gonna tell you one thing: can't no virus, no disease, no sickness, any affliction, or any temptation overtake you in a way that God has not given you power to overcome it. So that's what we're reading. Read that, man. Can you read that? This is 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. And I really like this verse because I feel like it just speaks truth, especially in a time like this. This word is quite relevant. What did it say, man? What did it say?
There is no temptation taking you but such as common to man.
There's no temptation that's taking you that's not common to man. This is what I wanted to say. This is a critical point. There's no temptation that has taken you that's not common. We're on our way to church, so I'm going to be quick. I heard somebody, I was looking at somebody on YouTube the other day, and they said, this is something new. They said, we ain't never seen this before. They said, we never seen nothing like this in this lifetime. They said, this is the in the 80s, and I'm in original 80s, baby. I'm getting up there, but first it was HIV and AIDS, and that was taking everybody out. Then my wife was talking about the H1N1, and then there's the HPVs and the 1, 2s, and 3s viruses and all these things. We've seen epidemics. We've seen pandemics. There's no temptation. So when you hear folks talk about, we've never ever been in this state. This is a state of unprecedented emergency. It's a lie. It's a lie. Because the word tells us there ain't nothing new under the sun. No corona, no Rona D. Who else? HIV, anything. There's the HPVs and all kinds of V's and OIDs and all of these. There's nothing new. The Bible said it. There's no temptation that has overtaken us that's not what? Common. Am I right about it? What you think? What you think about it? Come on, wife. You want to chime in? You want to chime in?
You want me to finish reading?
No, I'm still talking about that common thing, because everybody we want to act like the corona is something brand new, like we've never seen sickness before. Yeah. What do you think?
Like I said last week, these are distractions.
They can't see you. They can see you.
Like I was saying last week, these are distractions.
What you said, just say it again so they can hear you.
And we, the people of God, need to remain consistent.
Where,
we need to remain stable. And 46 feet.
Okay.
We need to stay steady in our faith. Don't get so consumed by what everybody or what the media is saying, what the news is saying. These are times to get out of self-confidence and to cultivate God confidence. These are the times that we need to build our confidence in God. And the way that we do that is we do that through reading the Word, through staying in prayer, while staying in communion with God. These are times that God has already made provision for us to be isolated, right? Literally, everybody. So this time of isolation isn't the time for us to go into a frenzy and partake in what the world is partaking in this fearful, which fear is nothing but of Satan himself. Right. So the fear that is trying to be imparted in you, you need to dispel that fear. And the way to do that is to stay in communion with God, stay in the Word, stay prayerful, stay in worship. We have come to realize now what everybody has is now is not about the church building itself. We are the church. So the church needs to take its stand, its proper place, and we need to take dominion dominion over what God has given us, and that is the earth. That's all I got to say.
Take dominion. What you said, you better preach. Preach a lady. Come on. You spitting that fire. You spitting fire this morning, girl. You spitting it. So there is no temptation that has overtaken us that's not common. Hold on, baby Charlie. 46B. This isn't anything new, and it's not the first. It's not the last. But in the midst of it all, 46B.
Stay here. This way.
It changed. It didn't do that last week. In the midst of it all, we've got the peace of God that passes all understanding. The world doesn't get it. I was at church last week, and I went to shake some folks' hand. I was at work, and I meant to shake somebody's hand because it's like it's the order of the day, and they're looking at me like, "What is your problem?" I was like, "Oh, you know what? I forgot that we are leveraging, this new social order and social distance, and that's fine. And I feel like we need to align ourselves to that because we need to be all things to all people to don't offend people. But I tell you one thing, I completely forgot. Why? Because here's why. We are in this world, but we're not of the world. And so I easily forget the frenzy and the uproar that everyone is in. And it's something that's inexplicable. You can't describe it. You can't explain it other than it being the peace of God. People don't understand it, but I ain't going crazy. Why? Because it's a God thing. So it says there's no temptation that's not common unto man. But what the verse says? So it's not anything new. But what else is that?
But God is faithful. Who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but with the temptation also make a way of escape that ye may be able to bear it.
See, God is not going to tempt you in a way. Well, see, there are going to be some things that come that I can't handle, that you can't handle. But that's what we're talking about. It says, but God is faithful. It's not because of me, myself, and I. That's what Paul said, it's not I. But the reason why we can have peace, why we can have joy, and why we're not shaken, my life, my world isn't shooketh, because God is faithful. And it says that there's no temptation that's not common unto men, but with everyone that God is faithful, that he will, what's the rest of it? I don't want to go before myself. That he will make a way. What's there? Above
that ye are able, but with the temptation also make a way to escape that ye may be able to bear it.
Yeah, so he'll make a way of escape so that we can bear it. And I feel like a lot of times the escape is not just Jesus, but it's the Jesus that is in you. You know, the word says in Peter that God has given us answers to all things as it relates to life and godliness. And so even as it relates to the kingdom, in Luke, Jesus said that the kingdom, you can't say, look over there and find the kingdom. Look over there and find the love, the joy, the peace, and all of these things. But Jesus said that the kingdom is within you. So God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we could ever ask or think, according to the power that worketh in you. You looking all around, we looking at the CNN and the social medias and the Googles and all these things, and we're trying to find information, but we need to seek God, seek the kingdom. And the kingdom is not over there or over there, the kingdom is within. There's peace where? Within. There's joy where? Within. So when you come into contact with me and you're overtaken, you're absolutely consumed by the peace of God, just know it's not me, but it's the God that liveth in me. God will arise. Now, I speak to your life, that God would arise in you. The Spirit of God would arise in you, that the kingdom attributes of heaven would arise in you, that fear cannot take dominion, that fear cannot enravish your mind. But the power of God arise up on the inside of you and give you power and a way of escape.
But the only way that you can gain access to that is if first you receive the Lord Jesus Christ.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's right. Into your heart, into your mind. You have to believe on him, because if you don't believe on him, who are you leaning on? You're leaning still on yourself. Jesus came so that we may have life and have it more abundantly. Abundant life meaning a life without fear, a life without any concern of what tomorrow may bring, because we know that He holds the future in His hands. So we can relieve ourselves of all of the torment that's, a lot of people right now are being tormented in their minds because they don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. But we know, those believers in Jesus Christ know who holds tomorrow, and we know who holds our hand, who holds our future. Everything that we need is in Him. So if you just receive Him, you can partake of that peace, of that joy.
That's right. And the word said that God is faithful. God is faithful. He's a do-it-again God. So in the next month or two, we're going to look back and we're going to be like, what was all of that worrying about? What was that fear about? Because God is gonna continue to show us that He is faithful, and the same God who's done it before is the same God who's gonna do it again. So He's faithful, that He's not gonna put more on us that He cannot bear. But obviously, God allows some things to occur, and some fear even to rise up in you, or you to be tempted to fear, to show you where you are, to show you that you are not as equipped maybe as you could be with the word, and I think that through the word and through prayer, and even as it relates to our faith, God will allow our lives and our world to be shaken up to strengthen our faith. So my faith is not in hand sanitizer, my faith is not in 6 feet distance from you, and my faith is not in all of these other things that the CDC or the Surgeon General or whomever is recommending. Not to say that we don't do those things, but when I go into wherever I'm going, I'm not afraid of people. Now, if you sneeze on me, I'm gonna back up. And I might try to find some Lysol and spray the environment, But for me, if you want to shake my hand, I'm gonna shake your hand, because I'm not afraid of anything. Why? Because there's soap and water. All we got to do is stay in faith, know that God is in control, and then just use some common sense with the Rona Deep. All you got to do, keep your hands washed, get good rest. Don't be up all night and doing things, because we need our health in times where the whole world is in distress, and all we hear is negativity and pessimism with regard to the world and health and storms and earthquakes and all of these things. But get good rest, sleep well, take care of your body by eating well. If you have vitamins, do vitamins. I don't really do vitamins, but I eat well, so, and I get good rest, and then practice good hygiene. Those 3 things, wash your hands and take care of yourself from a soap and water perspective. So you do those things, stay in faith. God is in control, and you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right.
But now we're almost at church.
God bless you all. Love you, and remember, this ain't nothing new. Be blessed and have a good one.
Have a blessed day. And if you don't know Jesus, get to know Him. Try Him. He's the answer.
Yes, He is.
That's all I got to say. Y'all know I keep it short and sweet.
All
okay.
Right.
Bye.
Blessed.